So I'm going to go ahead and release the screen. Do you see my screen that says PCS?
Yep.
Okay.
I got it.
Fantastic. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, listen, I'm just going to go into this very fast. And just to show you, so obviously we have a couple of offers for PTA dealers. The offer, one of the offer is actually becoming a customer. Another offer is becoming a distributor. Okay. We do provide you on the distribution side, and that's where I'm going to go to begin with. Is on the distribution side, we're providing you with a certain pricing, and it's up to you to make a markup. We do give you a suggested retail price, and you also have your own cost, obviously. Longer the contract, lower the cost. As you can see here, 36 months contract, which, to be honest with you, I am yet to sign one contract less than 36 months. It is just to give it, because the majority of people, they would like to have phones provided to them without paying extra for it. So I always tell them, hey, it's got to be 36 months simply because we're giving you free phones, and those have to be paid off. So, but there are many times when actually customers, they already have the phones because they have, they had voice over IP before. What we can do, we can actually go ahead and provision those phones. And as you can see right here, this is the price for the provision phones. Okay, we are, the suggested retail price, let's say for the 36 months contract, is $24. That's your suggested retail. Now, you can set it up at 25. You can set it up at 30. We don't care about that. In Dallas, notice that $35 is actually a very standard price. So, if it's standard, if you sell it to them at 32 or 34, it's probably going to be a little bit less than what the other voice over IP companies. I'm talking about voice over IP because you will find that somebody like Spectrum in Dallas area sells the lines for $45, and that's just one line, okay? And it gives you the phone number with that line, and on top of that, they're probably paying from 25 to 29% on taxes, depending on what area they're in. So, as a matter of fact, I actually have a couple of bills from Texas from Spectrum just to look at it. So, so that's what it is. This is the cost with the phone. This is the phone that we're providing. Any other phones that if you want to add, if they want to, let's say, add one phone for their receptionist that they can see 16 lines on it, fancy phones, they're going to have to pay for it. But the majority of the phones for the sales for the reps like yourself, for the reps that they're making calls and stuff, they just don't need this type of phones. This is a very good working phone. This is the most popular phone that is. This particular phone actually shows you 3 lines.
Okay.
Now, there's one standard thing about our offer, and this is one very different thing from everybody else. There's 2 different things. First of all, our system provides a redundancy system, which means that if your internet or electricity goes down, we have a way to actually continue calls coming to you, so you're not missing any calls. Not all the companies are actually providing that in our space.
So how does that
second
work?
Thing, I will show you. Yeah, I will show you a little bit later. Yeah, I will show you a little bit later. The second thing that I wanted to mention to you, we always provide, as a minimum, 2 lines per extension. So let's say in your area, you have 7 extensions in your business, I remember from our conversation. That means that you're going to have 14 lines.
Right.
So there's going to be, if let's say, you can have 14 people on the phone at the same time.
Okay.
Or if one of your reps is on the phone, they need another line for the customer to call in and not to be routed somewhere else, but to go into his voicemail. Because if he has like, I had you on one line and I had another dial on the second line. That happens quite often. You're putting them on hold, so there's 2 lines. That's our standard technology. We are the only ones who are actually providing that. Somebody's going to provide you something else. It's going to be transferred somewhere else. We actually have lines, and you can actually route those lines any way you want to. Now, the third and the last thing is, whatever pricing you see right here, suggested retail price, and whatever pricing you're going to be setting up, that's including all the taxes.
Oh, that includes taxes?
Everything. That's it. That's what you
now, we're just going to bill the customer 29, and then you guys send us a bill for 24?
Correct. We're not sending you anything. You don't have to do the billing if you don't want to. As a matter of fact, you probably don't because we're FCC regulated and you're not.
Oh, got
right?
it. So you'd send us, let's say, one line. You'd send us a check for $5.
Correct. Or we send you a check for $11 for that line every single month for as long as the customer is staying with us.
Now, what about if they break their contract? They're on a 36-month and they break it at 12 months.
Well, first of all, they have to return all the equipment. Okay. Second of all, one way or another, they have to return the equipment to us. This contract is more on them than it is on us, and the reason is very simple. We cannot break the contract and increase their price in the middle of the contract. That's what it's all about. Okay. So it depends how big of an account. Yes, we have a terms and conditions, obviously, which usually customers don't even ask us about that. And terms and conditions does say that they have to pay off the remainder of the contract. The thing is that I've never seen anybody quitting a contract if they have free phones.
Yeah,
it's just that they feel like they're
more for the conversation. I mean, it's just like with us with copier maintenance contracts. Nobody ever cancels, but they want to know if they can.
Yeah.
So
they if they get free equipment. Listen, I was in your space for 10 years. I know. Believe me, I know everything you go through, every single step. I worked for InkCycle for 5 years. Okay. You know who InkCycle is. And then I had my own business for 5 years selling ink and toner. Okay. I was actually working I was working out of my home for a company called iPrint. You probably know them. They're in California. So, but I was a 1099, so I was selling on my own. And then I lost a very large account, and I had to go and find another job.
Exactly.
Because I didn't have time to go and develop something like that again, because you had something for 5 years. But anyways, just to make a long story short, I know exactly where you're going through, and I know exactly what kind of questions they're going to be asking you. And I'm telling you right now, when you don't have to tell them that they're leasing the phones. What you have to tell them, this is your price with the phone. Okay. And this is very different from what me and you are used to. Okay, we come out, we tell them, okay, you're on managed print services, you are leasing the printer, and so on and so forth. Here, some companies are using this term, some companies do not. You just come out and say that's how much it's going to cost you with the phone, and you have 36 months contract, or you just put 36 months on it, and they let them sign it. So, and at that point, if they, nobody ever asked me a question. And the ones they did, I told them, listen, you understand that this is, we have to pay for the phone somehow. So longer the contract, more chances for us to go ahead and pay for the phone. That's it.
Right.
And after 36 months, they're buying those phones for $1. So basically, in a sense, let's say, it's a lease to buy. So, but it's a very, very easy deal. I never go that deep with them, but they have a chance to do so. So that's the same thing with the 24 months, as you can see the differences, and the same thing for the 12 months. So shorter the contract, more they're paying, more you're charging them. So longer the contract is actually much better for you. First of all, you are getting that residual for 36 months, 3 years. And, as you're getting more and more seats, a check, of course, getting bigger. But you're making only one sale, and that's it. So you're getting paid on that. So that's pretty much, there's a lot of features and functionalities that are coming with that. We're giving all those features and functionalities to you. First of all, on your service, you can use any of them. They're free. The only one that costs is call recording, $5 per seat. You can do the same thing to your customers. This is not something that we're making money off. It's just we have to pay for the space on the server when we're actually yeah. So other than that, all of them, I can tell you that your competition, therefore my competition, is charging extra for auto attendant. They're charging extra for listen live. Okay, this is very important.
Listen live?
I will show it to you in a second.
Okay.
And they're also charging you more for, where's my reporting? For any kind of reporting. And we're giving you the full reporting capabilities with no charge. If you decide to charge your customer for reporting, all you have to do is just put it on that contract, pass it on to me, and you can tell them, hey, it's extra $10 a month for the whole entire office, $10 a month. You let me know, I will put it and I'll charge the customer, and this is your money. They're going to you. I'm giving it to you for free. All right. Okay. So that's something that I wanted to actually go over it. Here's some of our customers right here on the bottom. Some of them, not all of them. The reason I'm showing you that is not to brag about it. The reason I'm showing you that if you look at it, all of those guys are multiple locations, and that's what we specialize in. Some of them are bigger, like I have H&R blocks that have 100 extensions in there, believe it or not. That's how big they are. And I have H&R blocks that have 3 extensions in there. And some of them are smaller. For instance, those guys, any lab test now, franchise, they have very large labs. And some of those guys have maybe 2 people working for them, and just people walk in and out and doing the testing and stuff like that, for the employment and so on and so forth. So, the sizes of those people, like they're DQ or Burger King, so you know how it all works. So we customize to all of them. Any kind of customer that you can bring in, we will custom build the system for them and try to make sure that they're paying less than what their local telephone company charging them. On top of that, we're going to give them much more functionalities on their system. So that's one thing that I wanted to actually go over real fast while we're here.
Okay.
So let me ask you a really quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember you mentioned to me that Ring Central did not work out for you. Do you remember that?
No, it wasn't Ring Central. It was I want to say it began with a V. It's called. Well, I knew how to spell.
None of us do.
Yeah.
That's not what we do.
Yeah, we were doing. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I even so what exactly didn't work out? I'm just kind of curious.
I had a bunch of dreams of making it more complicated than it needed to be. So, here you call in, press 1 for service, press 2 for sales, press 3 for whatever. And when it came to sales and service, so let's say service would go to Joey, ring 2 times on Joey's phone. Then if that didn't work, then it would ring to everybody's phone, and then we would want to give them the option of staying on hold or pressing 2 to leave a message. So, doing all these things, I just got bogged down. And I was like, went on for 3 months. We're paying whatever, and then finally I just said, you know what, I don't have time to do this right now. So I bailed out.
Okay, now
so I paid for 3 months and then cut it.
Now, the question that I do have for you is, was it your choice to have all this, or did they just kind of? I mean, you don't have to do the auto attendant. You understand that, right?
Well, I think auto attendant would be better, because what we've found is that if somebody finds us on Google and they call in, let's say they need a toner cartridge locally, they'll call in. If they don't get anybody, then they hang up and they move on.
Yeah.
So
I want to let you know, you're going to have a full reporting capabilities. What it will give you, that even somebody that called you, let's say, and they didn't leave a message or something like that, you're always going to be able to go back into your system and see who actually tried to call you yesterday. You can always call them back. It's going to have a caller ID and everything else. But that's on top of it. So listen, I understood where you're coming from on that one. Sometimes it does get a little bit too complicated.
I mean, yeah. So I just said, I just got bogged down and I started up again, and I'd be like, crap, I don't have time to do this. So do we have the capability of leaving somebody out there and they can have the option to leave a message or continue to hold?
Sure. Okay. So up to you. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Because I think that's what if somebody's tied up or everybody's tied up, we'd like it so that, they can at least hold on. And I mean,
absolutely.
I can't tell you how many messages we have that are just nobody's there and then I hang up. So, I think, in this country that we live in, it's instant gratification.
That's true.
And also, can you have I'm sure you can, but can you have the calls pushed out to a cell phone if you don't answer?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
On the phone number as well as on the extension level, you will have the capabilities that you never. I mean, that's what we created this particular program for, because there are companies that are telling you, okay, we're going to go ahead and give you the video conferencing. How many companies do you know that use video conferencing? The problem with that is, and the problem with that, they know that. So they're giving it to you for free as one of the benefits, but they know nobody's using it, maybe 1 out of 100 people that actually use that. So they spent almost no money on it. So it's actually looks really good, but the truth of the matter is that almost nobody uses it. So they're not actually spending any money. Now, what we decided to invest into specifically for the system for business and nothing else, something that you can use on a daily basis, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, I'm going to go through that really, really fast. I will only show you things that I think cool in here and something that you actually mentioned to me. And but I'm going to show it to you from the perspective of your customers, not your perspective. And you decide what you like about that or what not, okay? So this is a home. It's just basically something that you want to have. This is what we call a home of our portal. This is something that it's your first page, home page. And if you need to have shortcuts to something that you're using on a daily basis or on a regular basis, you can all have here, like list of extensions, telephone numbers. You can make a payment from here. You can customize it any way you want to. It's nothing but a drag and drop. Very simple. Okay. So the second one is a dashboard. This is created specifically for the receptionist. Usually people that actually have 10 extensions or more are the ones that are using that. It costs like $10 a month for receptionists to have that on top of it. But what it's going to do with basically the view at any time, all your extensions, who is busy, who is not, who is in the office, who is not in the office, who's on the parking lot, who is actually in the queue, how many voicemails were left on every single agent here. It gives you queues, how many queues, how many staffed agents you have on each and every department, and how many calls you have, how many of them are on hold, and how many of them are actually talking. Again, if somebody calls in and the person, the receptionist wants to transfer, all she has to do, just basically pick it up, and it's loading. My internet is extremely slow today, and I don't understand why, to be honest. I mean, we have a huge bandwidth on the internet, but I don't know why it's so slow. But as you can see, it's not slowing down any voice at all. So, but everything else is extremely slow today. But what this basically what you do, you drag up into the extension, and it will go into the voicemail. It will go anywhere, or the agent will pick it up, whatever. Okay.
Okay.
Voicemail. I think we actually have done a really good job with the voicemail, and here's I'll explain it to you. So if the voicemail comes in, there's 3 ways you can retrieve it. Number 1, of course, the phone. Number 2, from here, you can actually listen to it. It will come here. It will give you the message ID, caller ID, so you know who left your message. Date, it's all stepped. You know exactly when it came in and when. And you will have access to every single extension as an administrator. So you know who received the voicemail. You can listen to it before they actually delete it and see whether the customer, and even go into the reports and see whether the call was returned or not. Okay.
And this is the $10.
No, this is free. No. On the dashboard, it's $10 a month for one person.
The dashboard.
That's the dashboard.
Okay.
Yeah. Voicemail
but
is
everything,
yours.
every other tab is included.
Yeah. Voicemail is yours. You, as an administrator, to have the ability to look at every single extension. Your guys, on the other hand, when we actually do the settings, they can actually go they will not have any of those buttons. They will have only voicemail. Your accounting guys, they will not have access to any of those buttons but the voicemails and maybe accounting. Okay? That's how we customize the board for every single person. All right.
Well,
So that's basically what you're getting. Now, here's the thing. There's 3 ways to retrieve your voicemail: phone, system, and an email. We send you an email. As soon as you receive it, you will receive the email with transcript on it, as well as the MP3 file that you can listen to. The reason we actually came up with this particular feature is very simple, which, it's actually very common, but I'll tell you why it's different. There's an MIT resource about the small business, and it says that if you receive the customer service call within 15 minutes after the customer left a message, your customer retention rate goes up by 391%. Ridiculous number. So on top of that, we also give you a text notification. Let's say you're walking around, you receive an email, it's on your phone, you can listen to it, you can read it, but you don't know, you didn't pick it up. So you will actually receive a text message telling you that there is a voicemail. So you can go back to your email on your phone and listen to this message or read it. Very simple. Okay. So we went a little bit further than that. So another one is apps. Okay, I'm trying to go as very because we're going to concentrate on service. So we have an open source system. Okay, so it can actually communicate with any CRM out there on the market. You can actually go ahead. It takes a special programming. It takes special project. It requires money on the customer side, but we can actually go ahead and integrate Salesforce, we can integrate Zoho, we can integrate pretty much any web-based CRM that the customers are using. Okay. Some of the customers don't want to do that, so that's why they will have this. It's called browser plugin. As you can see on top of my browser, it's right here. What it allows you, from any browser, you will be able to dial the phone without picking up the receiver. If you have that browser activated. Okay, so if you have, for instance, you're using Salesforce, you will be, and I will show you a little bit later how it's done. So very fast. Here's the service. This is your PBX box. Whatever you have in the back room with a whole bunch of wires, when you have to change the extension or do something, you call the guy, he'll come in, he'll pay $350, he'll punch something in there. That's what it is. Right. It's all right here for you. Okay, so what we're looking at right now is your phone numbers. What we call them is DID. So you will hear DID from me because it's just easier. I'm just more used to it. But basically, DID means your phone number. Okay, any business can have a multiple DIDs depending on the purpose of that. Right now, if you're getting a line from your local telephone company, they also give you a DID, which is very, very insufficient way because you can have 6 lines and 6 DIDs, but you're using only one. With our system, You don't need to do that. Our customers have one DID, maybe two. One they use as for the office, and one they use maybe for marketing. The rest of it, basically what DID is, it's how the customer sees you from the outside. They see your phone number. That's it.
Oh,
okay.
Got it.
You can, but inside, our technology allows you not to have phone numbers associated with your lines. So just to show you real fast, this is a lie. If you, oh, I did the bad thing. Let me go ahead and go back real fast. I wanted to show you this first. So here's the phone number. If I click on it, it gives me two options. One option, you know, if it's a regular phone number in the regular system, it'll give you only one option: call. You can click on it since it's web-based, and you can actually go ahead and dial this number. Okay, but that's not what we're planning on doing right now. All I want to do is go inside that number and see how easy it is. So here we have caller ID. This is a call. You can pick your state. Let's say that you know, we know what you have two businesses and you have two DIDs for different businesses in one location. All right. So what I'm going to do right now, and you have this particular DID. This is the phone number. So right now it says PCS Inc. I want to put it FPC Dallas. If I click save right now, my caller ID is going to say FPC Dallas. That's it. That's all you have to do to change your caller ID.
Calling from that line.
Yes.
Okay.
You can. Yeah, if you're calling from that particular DID.
Got it.
All right. You can assign any number that you want. Here's an internal presentation. So let's say this particular you want to see the internal presentation. What is internal presentation? Let's say you have an office in Dallas and you have an office in Fort Worth, but you have one receptionist. So you will put Fort Worth in here. So when somebody calls from this number to your Dallas office, your receptionist will see the caller ID of the person who's calling, and underneath she will see Fort Worth. So she will know that the call was actually supposed to go to a Fort Worth office, but you have only one receptionist. So she will answer, you know,
FPC
Fort Worth. Yes, because and the customer will know no difference whatsoever. Okay.
Right.
Call routing. This is a call routing for DID, just for the number. You can actually route it to a certain extension. You can route it to a voicemail. You can route it to a group, and that's if the holiday is. Or you can route it to outside number and put your outside number here. That's it. If it's a holiday, it's going to go straight to you. Or you can put it to auto attendant, which probably what you need to do anyway. I have to find it. I have to go here, auto attendant. And you will select which auto attendant, which is a holiday auto attendant. Make sense? So if you want to route to a group, so you can actually go ahead and get a caller ID routing. You can actually route it anywhere you want to. Hold music. Majority of our customers are using their hold music as an advertisement. So when your customer is on hold, all you have to do just record a short message, or maybe you already have one. Maybe you have, let's say, welcome to FPC. We're you know, a quality provider of imaging supplies. Anybody who will call us in the month of July will get 10% off any of their imaging supplies, something like that. You can change it every month if you want to, okay? All it has to do is basically, or you can put the music, so they will be sitting on hold and listening to your music. It's up to you what you want to do with that, okay? So I'm trying to go very fast through it because there's a little bit more things, but I'll try. So this is what your customer does not see, which is your extensions. Let me see. Hold on. As I said, very slow today. I don't know what is going on with this internet.
That's all right.
So, but let's go into my extension. So this is my extension, Anthony. Even though it's just a demo account, but it's here. So let's go into my extension. So let's say you lost Anthony. Anthony is no longer with you. And Anthony, instead of Anthony, you want to put John on it because you just hired John. Okay, that's all it takes. Now it's a John's extension. You put the outgoing call. So if John will call from his extension, which caller ID would you like to have on his extension? Because you have choices. If you have many DIDs, that's what you put in there. Then you obviously for E911 location, because each location it's a FCC regulation, you have to do that. It will also tell you that I like to take 4 rings. It will ring 4 times for me to pick it up. Okay. After that, there's some different options, and it will, you know, what it means. It's 1 ring per 5 seconds. So it will ring for 20 seconds, or it actually will make 4 rings. Make sense so far?
Yep.
Okay. So here's the phone. As I said, this is a demo, and that's what I wanted. So right here is it has to be green. If it's green, it means my extension is working, everything is going well, there is no problems, and the system basically grabs that, and it knows that my extension is working well, that my internet is coming, my electricity is there too. Okay, so call forwarding. You can call forward anywhere you want to, but let's say how my system works right now. So try first, and it calls on my extension on my phone, right? So this is my extension. It rings 20 seconds. If I'm busy, it will go to my mailbox, and that's how I set it up. But instead of mailbox, I can actually go ahead and put it on the outside number. It will call my cell phone number. Okay. So if not answered even on my cell phone number, what it's going to do, it's going to go ahead and transfer back to my voicemail box in my office or on my cloud.
Got it.
Because I don't want
so it won't go to my, because I mean I wouldn't want the voicemail going to my cell phone number.
Exactly, but you can leave it there if you want to. There is, again, if not answered, look how many options you have. You can actually put it any way you want to. You can transfer it after that to your home. You can transfer it back to your voicemail. Any way you want to do it. All right.
Yeah. So
here's the feature.
So that you could have it ring on your cell phone number for 5 times before the voicemail picks up on your cell phone. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, literally, the options that it's giving you, it can go back to auto attendant. It can go to time frame. I mean, there's 14 different options how your call can go after that. All right. And all you have to do, just click save, and it's going to take effect within about 3 seconds. Here's what we talked about. Remember the redundancy plan for any kind of disaster, no internet, no power, both, doesn't care. So as you remember, I told you about the color of if this phone is gray or red, this system picks it up and it automatically sends your calls either to outside number, which is my outside number is right here, or it will take it to another extension. If you have another office that also connected to your office and there is another extension, you can actually transfer it there because they have both. Okay. Or it can actually send it to another phone number. It can send it to auto attendant anywhere I have it as a, so you lose a call and the customer has no idea that your office is down. That's very simple. Okay.
Wow.
That's how we actually invested a substantial amount of money. You set it up only once. It turns on and off automatically. As soon as this phone goes green,
it will work for you. And then vice versa.
Yeah, and then it goes back to the original settings, and then it works again. So you set it up once how you want it.
Okay.
You can change it anytime you want, but you set it up basically once. Voicemail, you can record it from here, or you can actually put the file in there. If you decide, let's say, it's easier for you record it. I mean, every window computer has a voice recorder. You record it, the file, it has to be less than 10 megabytes or less. saying, hey, I'm on vacation. So instead of you recording it every single time you leave for vacation, you can select the file and actually go ahead and drop it in here, and it will play it for you when somebody's calling that you're on vacation. Very simple, okay? Pretty much the same thing on the cloud extensions. Cloud extensions are actually pretty cool because we can actually have a cloud extension on your cell phone. So if somebody from your office, let's say we set up a cloud extension as 1814, it'll go straight to your cell phone. So no matter where you're at, they don't even have to dial your cell phone number. It'll just ring to your cell phone number automatically. Okay?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So endpoints, those are just basically phones. That's what they are. Mailbox, that's actually very interesting. This is a standard mailbox. You know, this is my mailbox. You can actually go inside, set up a mailbox. Actually, you know, it's nothing. It's very, very easy to do. You know, this messages. This is the emails where my mailbox messages are going to. You can have up to 5 emails here. So let's say somebody leaves the message for any of your guys on 7 extensions. You want all of them come to you. So you want to know that somebody left a voicemail because you know, you're controlling. What are you going to do? So it will go to them. It'll go to you. It'll go to your main manager, wherever you want. And this is the SMS that we're sending to you, letting you know that you just received a message. Okay. Duration, delete voicemails, no, and you know, you can actually set it up any way you want to, literally any way you want to. But here's my favorite feature on that one. It's called broadcast. So let's say you want to send an email to all your guys saying, hey, we have a meeting tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, right? All you have to do just set up a group. So it's called broadcast mail. So what you're going to do on that one, you're going to name it.
Pick out all your salesmen and.
Yeah, you can put them anywhere you want to, and basically what you're doing, you're actually dialing that particular group and leaving them a message. You are killing two birds with one stone. Not only you're leaving them a message, every one of them is going to receive an email with a transcript on it. So you are sending them an email and you're sending them a voicemail at the same time. There is no way they can tell you that they missed that message. Because it comes as an email to them and they can actually read it or they can go and listen to it. Either way.
Okay.
So that's why I like this one a lot. So,
yeah.
Time frames. Here's another thing, real fast. You can put time frames. Basically what it is, it's autopilot and nothing else. All right? So let's say we have this is our main one. So you activate on the dates when you want to activate, and you want to make your system to act a certain way between this 9:30 in the morning to 6 o'clock. It's always in this, for some reason, in the Eastern time. So you have to adjust to that one. But other than that, that's what it tells you. That's how it's going to work. And here's what it is. So during your hours, you can actually go ahead and go PCS main. During hours, call extension, which is the receptionist. After hours, it goes a different time frame, and it goes time frame. You link it up to your auto attendant, and at that point your auto attendant comes on saying, hey, we're closed for today. If it's an emergency, please push 2 and we will return your call within 2 hours.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
And you can actually go ahead and find different time frames, because as you can see, there's many of them. Let's say you have a completely different time frame for the holidays. You're not there, and that time frame will be tied to your auto attendant created specifically for the holidays. Which this is after 5. That's, you can set up as many as you would like. You can set up as many as you would like for each DID. Auto attendant, again, you know how auto attendant works. I'm not even going to go into it. We give you unlimited amount of auto attendants, unlimited for each DID. So if you have one phone number, you can create as many auto attendants as you would like.
Okay.
But here's the reason why I wanted to actually show you. attendant does. That's how easy to create the auto attendant. You name it, timeouts, digit timeout. So let's say somebody it says press 1 and somebody press 6 and you don't even have that. So the digit timeout will wait for 2 seconds until they actually go ahead and try to dial the right one. They will tell you that twice, and then they kick them out of the system. Okay. So you can record via phone, or you can upload the file as a message. Let's say you have a nice girl.
What does it need to be?
Yeah, it's got to be 10 megabytes for each auto attendant.
What format?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
What type of file format?
MP3.
MP3. Okay.
Yeah, literally, you can go to voice recording on your computer right now. You can go into, well, I have Mac, but if you have a Windows, you can go into, and I still have one of those. Yeah, I still have one of those, but you can go into Start and type in the search voice recorder, it'll pop up for you. So that's all you got to do. So, and that's how you create that file. You can actually record it directly from your phone. I like to do MP3 files simply because you can take as many tries as you want until you get it perfect, and then you can upload and anytime you want. And you can upload, and then you select. So button 1, where it's going to go, which extension. So let's go. They said for sales. So you find sales extension. Where's my sales extension? Doesn't matter. Well, here. Okay, let's assume it's a sales extension. There is one, but I don't want to look for it. So it's going to go to sales extension. If they say button 1, that was button 0. This is button 1. It'll go to this phone number. Okay, you can select the extension, and it'll tell you how many times to ring, and so on and so forth. That's how easy to set it up.
Okay.
It really the longest thing to set it up is basically to record the message itself. That's it. Okay, so let's accounting. One more thing I wanted to show you in service. So there is, as you can see, I can talk about literally in service. There's so many options. It's ridiculous. Ring groups, you can set up the ring groups. One for service, one for customer support. Conference bridge, you have that too. Call center, don't worry, those are for like telemarketing companies. They have a different, it's like presentation and presentation. You can set up your own holidays. You set them up once a year. Call recordings, that's what you're for. You can record inbound, outbound, you can record both. It's $5 extra per extension that needs to be recorded. Hold music, that's where you actually upload the whole music that we talked about. Listen live, that's one that I wanted to show you real fast. And this is the best sales tool that you can possibly find. If you have salespeople and you having trouble training them right, that will help you tremendously. Basically, if you're sitting on your extension, you can dial *57 and an extension number of your newbie there and listen in on the conversation. You will not be able to talk to them, but you can listen in on the conversation, take your notes, maybe bring the notes back to them. It'll go further than that. If you dial *58, an extension number, not only you're going to be able to listen to the conversation, but you will be able to whisper your sales rep exactly what to say, so they will lead the customer to the closing. Okay?
Wow.
And the customer will not even hear you. So
that's crazy.
And the whole idea of this system is actually designed specifically for business. And I can tell you, for this particular service, I know companies, voice over IP companies, that are charging $50 extra per month. 50. Well, I'm giving it to you for free. Okay?
For which portion of it? No, the live listening?
For both. For both. You got both. So this is a transaction. We do have a very good accounting system. You will find in our accounting pretty much every single invoice and every single charge that was ever made to your account. You can always go back for duration of your contract for as long as you are with us, and actually go ahead and take a look at that invoice. that will tell you exactly what it was charged for, and if you have any questions, you can always go back to us. Now, this is also one of my favorite ones. This is a report. So again, reports usually charged extra by any companies, or you have to be on a higher plan to pay per extension extra in order for you to get reports. With us, it's all included.
Okay.
My God, would this internet start working? Because this report is actually very important for me to show you. So here's where reports. You can actually get reports on your incoming, outgoing calls. You can actually do all calls, fax lines, any way you want to break it down. You can actually do extensions, phone numbers. So if you want to listen, just look up by extension, by your guy extension. All you have to do is just basically do this. Find the extension, and it'll give you the information for that particular extension. But let's forget about that one. A lot of my customers, obviously, it gives you a full control. You know how your guys are making calls. You can actually look at it and see how many calls they made, how many sales they closed. So you can actually see what the conversion rate is. So you can go and say, this guy made 100 calls today, and he set up 5 appointments. So, he made one appointment for every 20 calls. That's not bad at all. So he has a pretty good conversion rate. And then you can go further, say, hey, he had 5 appointments and closed 1. That's not too bad either. So, and keep on going on that one. So, but it's used quite a bit. You can also want to know if he says, okay, yeah, I returned the calls to that customer. You can go to that extension and look it up and see, yeah, he did return that call. So good. And it was 3 minutes conversation. It will give you all those numbers. Again, remember we talked about the queues. You can actually go ahead and see queue performance, agent performance, events, queue call activity, which means if you had customers that were on hold for a long time and finally hung up, it'll tell you exactly how many minutes that customer was on call before he hung up. So you can actually improve your system if you want to. So abandonment report, answer abandonment, how fast we answered that call, and how long it took for the customers to hang up again. So there's majority of it, millions of them. But here's what I wanted to do. Let's say you have a marketing number with us. It's $1.65 a month to have just additional DAD specifically for the marketing. And let's say this is one, right? So what you do is, let's just make it, I don't know. I'll try to make it simple. So let's say January 1st to January 31st. Let's do. So that's your dates, okay? And you want to see how many calls you receive within that, on that particular number, because this is a marketing number. Don't forget about it. Not all the numbers, but this is a marketing number. And it's just an assumption. So you click search, and it will give you, and again, that thing is driving me absolutely insane today. I'm trying to go faster through that.
No, you're fine.
But it's so basically right here, if you look at here, it will give you the record, how many calls you received altogether. But let's just hope it's gonna work today at some point. I don't know what is going on with this internet today. It's not kicking me out.
Was it even?
So which? No, it's moving.
It's waiting
it's moving.
for login.
Is that what it shows you on your screen?
Calculating. No, I can see it at the bottom of your screen.
Oh.
So.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, it might be calculating and collecting the information. That is very simple.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Oh, let's just. Here we go. Here we go. So it will give you all this information. Now, but let's say, instead of that, I want to do. Oh my God, I'm just trying to come closer. Maybe it's not going to take too much time. Let's say. Oh, I made a mistake. Okay, I know what I did. Okay, it shows you can actually request for as long as you are with us, but it usually shows you 3 months behind.
Got it.
So I did that myself. So let's say, here we go. that will probably give you better information. But let's say, so we'll do research for those. We'll do search for that particular dates, which is going to give you a little bit more information on that. So you have that, okay? And let's say you wanna actually go ahead and see how many calls you receive daily. So what it's going to do, it's going to give you the graph on how many calls you receive daily. So you can see, you can determine very easily what's your ROI on your advertising that you're doing. So whether you're doing social media, saying, hey, give me a call, $5 off the cartridge on the social media, you will see whether it's worth it for you to pay for those pay-per-clicks or not. Or maybe you're doing a local magazine or something like that. So you can take, well, this thing is not doing anything for me. I'll pull the money out of it. That will save you and actually make you more money, because now your advertising becoming much more accurate and much more targeted. So majority of my clients, especially small businesses, they don't have a tool like that. Once they have that, that actually makes a lot of sense for them to actually analyze their marketing dollars. So settings, I mentioned to you before, we can actually customize each and every user of this port, or depending what you want them to see. So let's say your guys are going to see only voicemail, your accounting department is going to see accounting as well as the voicemail, and so on and so forth. Your secretary can see only the dashboard, okay? And that, because that's all she needs to see, to be honest. That will give you some information in here on the phones, modems, routers, identification, and so on and so forth. It will actually tell you how to use some features and functionalities. Everything that we discussed today, and from here, you will also be able to go in here, you see where my name is, and go into help. Everything we just talked about, every single thing, in black and white. How to use every single feature, how to set it up. We will set it up for you, and you're free to call us anytime you want. And we will help you with every one of those. But in case you don't want to do it, or you have somebody who is a little
sure, I mean, that's pretty thorough.
It is very thorough. Everything is in black and white for every customer. Now, for you to present this particular product, what we're going to do, we're going to create your own demo account that you will have on your laptop, let's say, and you're going to go to the guys. At first, what we're going to be able to do, we're going to be able to get your customers on the webinar, just like we're having one today. It's a little bit longer because I've gone through things. Usually what I do, just like I did with you before, I found out about their system, what they're looking for, what they need in there, and what they would like to have on their system that will work better for them. So, and at that point, and I'm asking them, are you doing any marketing? They said, well, yes, we do. How many salespeople you have? How are you training them today? And I will go into this, and I will actually show them only things that I think matters to them.
Yeah. No, that's the same thing with copiers is, I talk to somebody because they have so much shit on them. Well, they have so much shit on them. Yeah. The customer doesn't care about 90% of it, depending on who it is.
No, you're absolutely right. Dumping all the shit on him doesn't do any good to any of us.
Right.
To be honest with you, it's ridiculous. The reason I went into more details today, and I tried to go as fast as I can on that. Yeah. I just wanted to show you and to look at this system and say, yeah, that system is designed thoroughly, and my customers are going to be happy with that because obviously it does a lot. Okay.
Right.
So, and that's why I went into actual look. I'm sure that, within 24 hours, you're not going to remember 75% of it, but at least you saw it and you had a good feeling about it. Yeah. So, and what I also do, for your sales guys, if you guys decide to move ahead with that, I'm going to train them. I'm going to train them on the system. I'm going to create the special layout for them so they know how the presentation go, how to go from one button to another button. They will also record. I will send them the recording of my presentations. Let's say I'll do the presentation with them on the phone. I will go ahead and record it, and I'll send it to them so they can play over and over and see every single page I go to, because it records as a video as well as the audio. And they will be able to go over it and know what each and every button does. basically they don't have to know much about voice over IP because the customers don't. They don't understand how it works. Basically, all they have to do is basically just did the same thing as we do at the presentation, as they're doing it right now. What matters to you? What do you want to see improved on your voicemail besides the price? Do you want to have an advanced voicemail? Do you want to have, route your numbers a certain way? Do you want to have a backup so you will never, ever, ever miss a call, whether you are offline or online? What are you doing with your marketing reports? Let me show you how you can run the reports and determine ROI on your marketing, and things like that. So, few very, very basic things. The other thing is auto attendant. Don't ever underestimate auto attendant. And here's the reason why. It is very interesting. On the same research that I was telling you about from MIT, okay, they're saying that average small business user is spending 48 minutes a day on what they call junk calls. And they actually had a little, I have to find that article because it's amusing to me. They actually had a list of what they consider junk calls where people are actually calling them to find out where they're located, if they're providing such and such services, if they're robocalls, telemarketing calls. So let me put it this way. If you save your customer at 30 minutes a day, that's 10 hours a month. That's an extra working day.
Yeah.
I don't know how much your time is worth, but to me it's a gold mine.
Right.
Just that alone will pay for their system if they calculate how much they're making a month. That's as easy as it comes. So that's we're done with that one. So do you feel good about this system? That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, no, it's like you said, I mean, you don't want to just throw everything at them if they don't need it. So it's just like copiers where you need to figure out, what they actually need. Now, when they're going to set it up, I mean, this is kind of my ongoing concern is that each
account gets 3 hours of support to set it up. So basically the way it works is very simple. The customer, they're doing exactly the same thing as we're doing right now. They're getting on a GoToMeeting, okay? And customer goes in here and they go into voicemail and they're saying, okay, let's say this is 1815. What do you want on the voicemail? Or if they go into service and they're telling them, okay, if there is an emergency, that particular extension to go or that phone number to go. And that's it.
Got it.
They're asking them, setting them up as they're actually going with that. If they need to change something, they can either do it themselves or they can call us and we'll do it for them.
Sure.
But it's, extension. They're going in there and saying, okay, we have 5 extensions, and let's say this extension is 123. They go into 123 extension. Who's going to own that extension? What's the name of the guy that's going to be on that extension? Oh, his name is Larry. Okay, Larry Johns. Here we go. It belongs to Larry Johns now. What location, what number, what caller ID would you like to have on his lines when he's calling out? 981-1100. Set. Second, how many rings does he need his phone to ring? 5 rings, 25 seconds.
Okay.
So they're going to do it all for them.
Yeah, I
on every single account.
They get support, ongoing support if, in the event that something happened or they want to tweak something.
No, that would be crazy to let them on their own. If they want to tweak something, some of them are very savvy.
So, like, let's say
they'll
we've got
do
these Polycom phones here. I'm assuming there's got to be some kind of programming from you guys' side. Assuming that's part of the 3 hours. Well, I mean, I don't know what the hell to do with it. I mean,
no. That doesn't include the 3 hours. If you have a Polycoms, I need to know which Polycoms they are, because there are some Polycoms that we can log in right off and actually reprovision them to our service. Okay.
Let's see, they are These are Polycom, or does it say? Shit. Hold on. I can look on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. So basically, here's the thing: as a BTA member, we provide you with the free phones. But if we don't have to send you the phones, we will reprovision those for you for free. That's all.
We've got the VVX 400.
400. I need to know if we can reprovision those. How old are they?
We got August 29th, 2017.
29th, 2017. And those are SIP phones, right? SIP. But they're voice over IP phones.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I will find out. Here's what I'm going to do. I know that you have 7 phones, which means 7 extensions.
Well, you kind of caught me off guard when you asked. Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. We only got 4 because we were thinking about adding another, so probably be 5.
You can add any time you want. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So 5 phones.
5 phones. So 5 extensions, 10 lines. That's what it. And by the way, some of the customers, that's all they need to know. It has a voicemail. It has 10 lines. It has 5 phones, and they will be able to receive their voicemails. And they will be paying, instead of paying $45 per line, they will be paying $25 per line. Now, there are going to be some instances when the customer is saying, well, I have only 3 lines, but I have 12 phones. All the time. You're going to have to, they will not be paying less, because for 3 lines, basically they have a parallel connection with their phones on the landlines. And
but
so
that would
if
be
3
insane. You can only have 3 people using a phone at one time.
Exactly. But believe it or not, you will run into it, and all they care is about the money. So this is something that you have to, and that's exactly my approach. I said, but if you have 3 people on the phone right now, nobody else can call, or you can't receive any calls.
Number 4 needs to receive a call or make a call.
Yeah. So that's a little crazy here, but believe me, you will run into it every day. And they're saying, okay, I'm paying only $125 for those phones, and I'm happy with that. And sometimes they don't even include the taxes because they don't know about it. Okay. So, but then at that point, you have to ask them, well, I completely understand. Okay.
Sure.
How much are your taxes? Tell them. And then they go and look at it and say, okay, well, it's $145 a month, but the taxes on top of it is another $30. So all of a sudden, it's already $175. And
were there new regulations or something? Because our phone company, I called them to tell them that we were going to leave and whatnot, and they ended up redoing our contract. Now we hardly have any taxes.
Really? Well, they might have. No, there is no such regulation. I can show you. I mean, we're on the phone right now. Hold on for a second. Give me just a second. I'll show you something. Where's that at? I actually saved it. And
how do you guys get away with not charging any taxes?
No, we take care of it because it's they charge us taxes.
Okay.
Of course they do, but there are certain ways around it, in the sense that hold on, that's not it. I actually left one of the bills from taxes, believe it or not, right here.
Oh no, I know. No, trust me, I know. I mean, there's
and it's a complete insanity. I'm trying to find that thing. Back Office Plus, Print Solutions. I was just looking at it today, as a matter of fact. It's here. I know that. Hold on. It's kind of interesting to look at it. I don't know what telephone company are you with right now?
We're Spectrum.
And that was a Spectrum bill. Where's that?
I can go get one of our.
That's ridiculous.
PQR Time Warner.
Oh, here it is. Here. Can you see it here?
I walked away to look at our bill.
Taxes and fees and charges.
Internet. Yeah, see, taxes, fees, and charges, we're only paying $3.67.
And here's the taxes, fees, and charges. And I can show you. This is in, where's the address? I closed it. I didn't want it, but it's in Texas. I know that.
And also, we've got. Can we port over all of our phone numbers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then also our 800
every
numbers?
Single one.
Okay.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's
great.
so.
I mean, that was another thing.
Here's the thing. How many of those phone numbers do you actually use? Does anybody dial?
Well, the problem is we've had a history of calling out using those different lines. So some of our customers think that our main number is not 1975, that it's 1979, because Joey calls out using the 79 extension. Does that make sense?
We can do that. That's not a problem. You can have so if you have two main numbers, I would recommend you just to have two main numbers. Very simple. Okay. If you have a 1-800 number that you want to keep, that's fine. See, the phone number costing you. I mean, the only thing we charge, and that's not a taxes. Okay, we charge $3 per location, not per seat, not per phone, not per extension, per location. E911 charge. We have no control over it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. In our case, paying $3 a month, for all those phone numbers.
No. You misunderstood. $3, $3 a month is per E911. The phone number actually costs $65 a month.
So it'd be $465.
Yeah. So basically, it's $465 for location, for phone numbers, and $3. So it's $765 for those. That's it. That's on top of everything else.
$765 per phone number.
So here's your bill. I'm just giving it to you. I'm gonna send you a proposal and stuff like that. But you have 5 phones. Here's your monthly bill: $125 plus $7.65. It's $132.65.
Okay.
That's the whole bill.
So ideally, what my thought process is get it up and running. Do you guys give out like dummy numbers to get it going? I just get a little nauseous.
When we ship,
go ahead.
When we ship your phones to you, okay? When we ship your phones to you, you can actually hook them up and start making calls from them. They're ready to go. Okay. It's basically, it takes about 10 business days to port the numbers from another company. It has nothing to do with us. Okay.
Sure.
So to port the numbers, to port each number, it's $25. And now, what do you do? That's one-time fee. What do you do with the 1-800? Do you have a text line, fax line, or do you?
Yeah, we do have a fax line. And also another concern that we had was that our credit card machine goes through our phone line.
I would not. I would call your credit card machine right now, not even before you call any phone company, and tell them to go ahead and hook up your machine to the internet, because you are actually making a big mistake. And I actually used to own a territory selling credit card machines. You're paying less when you're actually on the internet per transaction. Okay, and it's much more convenient because the transactions are much faster. It costs less to the credit card processing company to process your claim. Okay, so therefore it's costing less to you as well.
Right.
So telephone, and not even mentioning the fact that when you're actually doing it over the landlines, it's actually open transaction. It has to be
Right.
decoded, and it only can be encrypted through the internet. That's all.
Got it.
Okay. So I mean, there are hackers everywhere.
Sure.
Target gets broken into. Bank of America gets broken into. You can't protect everything, but you can definitely protect nothing when you're actually doing over the landlines. So
right.
I would recommend you, if I were in your place, I would hang up the phone right now and call your credit card company. I swear to God, because it's so much easier to do it through the internet. It's not even funny. So, but on the fax line, we can port your fax line and actually make it an e-fax line. Much easier, much more economical. Instead of
you would just
paying
scan it and then send it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to scan it, or if somebody tells you, okay, all you have to do is just send me a really quick letter, from you. You can actually go ahead and type it up and send it to them and put the signature. You scan the signature once and you just throw it on that Word document. And I do it every single day, believe it or not. So, and you receive all your faxes into your email. It's all converted. It goes through our server. So basically, it comes out on their fax machine as a regular fax. They send to you using their regular fax machine, but it comes to you as a PDF attachment.
Got it.
Very, never busy line. You never have to wait until the line is not busy, until the fax goes through. You receive the confirmation the fax was received, and all you do is basically say 913-485-1707 at PCSfax.com.
Got it.
So that's it. And you give them just a regular number. If you look at my email that I sent to you, there is fax number, and you can see it's just a regular number. It just comes to me through the email. That's all.
Got it.
So with that, it's going to be, with the fax line, it's going to be $152.65 because it's $20, and we don't charge you for the number for the fax line. So because it says $20. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and what I'm going to do before we do anything, I'll send you all the files that I showed you today. Okay?
Okay.
Most importantly, I'm going to go ahead and put together a proposal for you, and I'll send it to you. If you find the proposal good, we'll just move in. Now, the only other thing that I wanted to ask you, we had that conversation for about an hour now. Did you hear any problems with the quality?
There was a little bit. At one point, it was a little staticky. And is there a delay?
Here's the reason why. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. Here's the only delay. Here's what you will find. You have a landline. All the information that goes, and you probably have, it's a voice over IP. But the voice over IP that they're using, the application that they're using, the local telephone companies like Spectrum, is actually the data is transferred in a small envelope. So, you're in the IT, you understand how it works. So, and that envelope actually has to have a certain size. So the size that is actually local telephone companies are using is 64 kilobytes. We use 7 kilobytes. On our side, when you come through, it's completely clear voice that it's going out there. Okay, it's HD quality, literally HD quality. If you had an HD earpiece or something like that, you will hear the voice coming from both sides. On your side, it actually gets disrupted because it takes bandwidth, 7 times more bandwidth. So it actually interrupts with all the other traffic that's going on with your internet.
Okay.
That's what it's actually what happening. So majority, for instance, for me, every single word that you said today came completely clear without any problems whatsoever.
Okay.
It's just
we've been needing to do this anyway. I just got to figure out what to do from here. But yeah, if you want
listen, it's an easy thing. Setting up literally takes about for each phone would take about a minute. The main thing, because we're going to go ahead and send you we provision the phones for you. They're already hooked up, okay, to the Cat 5 line, and they're already hooked up to your computers. So basically, all we have to do is just log into the phone, and I will find out if we can do that with your phones, and I will do all the programming for you for free, since we don't have to send you.
I would rather use the ones that we have.
That's fine.
Just so I don't feel like a big ding dong for buying them.
No, you wouldn't buy them. Oh, you bought those phones. Okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah, that's fine. I will find out today if we can reprogram, and I will do what we call provisioning is for free for you. Okay, instead of sending you. I mean, it's a win-win situation, simply because we don't have to send you brand new phones, and we will go ahead and take care of your provisioning. And so they're all hooked up, you won't have to worry about that. All we have to do is basically set up your extensions, and you're going to do that with somebody on the phone, and they will go ahead and lead you. This is the longest part of it. So the longest part, I mean, the most difficult part is to get the numbers out of Spectrum, believe it or not.
I understand.
So it takes about 10 days to do so. So there's a special service that we have to go through. They have to request those numbers, take those numbers away, and they tell us the day when the porting is going to be done. Our phones are going to be working. You're going to be able to make the outbound calls if you want to. On top of that, you will going to be able to actually go ahead and go on a system, even with the dummy numbers, and put your real numbers. So when the customer calls you back, they'll call you back on the numbers you want them to call to. But they're not. The numbers are not going to be transferred to those phones just yet, okay? Unless you forward them with Spectrum. But they will be live. They will be live. But the truth of the matter is, you don't really have to do that, because on the day of what we call porting, basically we call you. All the numbers are going to be ported to those phones. All you have to do, just basically, you don't even have to do anything. They're already hooked up for you, and they're going to be preset already for you. So, but it's just going to port the numbers, and you won't even notice that. The only thing we're going to do, we're going to call you, and we're going to go ahead and set up the extensions the way they're supposed to go. That's all. All right. Anyways, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. Mark, let me go ahead and check and make sure that I have the right email address. I have it at mmcgee at fp.
Frank Paul Charlie.
Yeah, fpcofficesolutions.com.
That's it.
Okay, I got it. You should be getting it today. No problem. All right. Appreciate it.
Good, buddy.
Thanks a lot for your time. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.